like text them? Because I don't think Alex can hear us. Do we need to message him these questions so he can
No,
answer them?
Alex can hear you. So feel free
Oh,
to state your questions. Feel free to state your questions, and then he'll come up and answer them. Unfortunately, he can only hear when he's off the stage, and then he can only answer by coming up on stage. But then when he comes up on stage, he can't hear anything. So it's like this whole weird.
okay, got you. Thank you.
Yep. So if you have a question, go for it. For either Chrissy or Alex.
Sounds like they're partying.
Hey Josh, I don't know if you can hear me. It's Chrissy. I'm trying to find just a location with Wi-Fi, which is really difficult. So if I'm over talking somebody else, I'm sorry, but I just wanted to say hello.
We can hear you. I have no idea if you can hear me. Are you able to hear me right now? Okay, Alex, if you're able to, can you let Chrissy know that we can hear her loud and clear if she wants to speak on tonight on the topic that we have on tokenization?
I just got some messages that you can actually hear me, which is amazing. Um, so that's great news. Um, and I hope I'm not over talking anybody else. But thanks for dialing in tonight. I'm so excited about all the things we have going on at USA Strong. So happy New Year. We're welcome to 2022. We're so excited. We have so many things going on. Congratulations to the team with all the new stores that have come on board. We're so excited for our first vendor to officially go through the verification of Strong Blockchain. Some of you probably already linked on to strongblockchain.com, which is ours. I know there's a lot of folks in the digital world that have already tried to kind of do the domain in different variations, whether it's strong.com or blockchain.com or strong block or block. But we are, we got the domain a while ago. So we are the originators of strongblockchain.com. I think Alex already kind of went through the token of USA. Oh my gosh, there's like fireworks going off with a heart right now, which is really cool. But we are really excited that the token is USA. That is what we do, right? We're verifying USA made. We started this because there was no official stamp of USA made. I think during this year, as we continue to lobby in Washington over why there isn't an official USA made process, it'll be interesting to see who partners with us in Washington for the verification. But the point is, we should be the official verification for USA made on the blockchain, right? So that you can see from beginning to end how something is made. And so all those vendors that are working with us, we are super excited that you're already on board. And then it's the tokenization and the validation of rewarding those folks because they're sharing who they're working with, right? To make the jar, the products, the ingredients, right? Because it takes more than just one person to make something. So again, it's shocking this hasn't been done. And my years of experience in manufacturing and design and retail, kind of led me to where I am today. And that's why we're all here. So thanks for being with us. I wish our connection was better. There's a massive party going on behind me. I apologize for that. I'm not part of that. Maybe I need to be, but we appreciate everyone being with us tonight.
All right. So, Stephanie, if you could communicate with Chrissy to drop from the stage so she can hear if there's any questions, and then she can come back up and answer them. In the meantime, Ruben, I know that you were up here on stage earlier. Did you have a question that you wanted to drop or some for us?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought this was going to be about Celsius, but I didn't even know about this group before, and I just wanted to ask what is this about, and if you guys can shed some light, and what is this whole thing about? I didn't even know about it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. It's Celsius is on Tuesday nights. If one of the girls wants to go ahead and give a quick statement on what USA Strong is for Ruben, and then we can ask some questions to Chrissy.
Yeah, I'm happy to jump in here. Josh, can you hear me okay?
Yep, loud and clear.
I can't hear myself and I can't hear you guys, but I'll speak. So USA Strong, we're an online marketplace and we use blockchain to verify our vendors that are USA made. So we are launching our blockchain and our token soon here, which we're super excited about, and we'll be using will be hopefully the block or the verification process for all USA made products to be able to state and put on their products that they are USA made. So where we're currently at, we are, as I mentioned, an online shopping community of all USA made products. We have everything from beauty to men and women's apparel to snowboards and outdoor products. We make all you're obviously a big Celsius fan. We make all the Celsius swag. And we partner with Celsius a lot on all of those products. So we are a lifestyle platform. We offer a little bit of everything, and it's all USA made and verified through us.
Ruben, then that helped to answer your question there?
Yes, it did. Thank you so much.
No problem. All right, let's move on to any questions that might be had for Chrissy up here on stage. Did any of you guys have any questions about tokenization or?
I have a question.
Go for it.
Will there be any connection to verification and the token?
She's coming back up. Chrissy, you're good to speak if you're able to. In the meantime, we'll just go to Deshaun or Deshaun Monk. Deshaun Monk. Deshaun Monk, if you're speaking, you have to unmute, brother. I dropped from stage. Stephanie, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I see your hand up. Did you have a question?
Yes, I did. I'm texting Chrissy the questions as well, so hopefully she can hop it. My other question was going to be more so about blockchain. So talking about, like, obviously we have 250 vendors on our site right now. Not all of them have been put on the blockchain. We are testing them or testing it right now. So once we fully launch our strong blockchain, I guess the question that I would be interested to hear from Chrissy is what our strategy is going to be with all of our vendors. Like, I don't know if it's obvious or not, but we may not have every single vendor go on the blockchain. So in that case, how are we going to decipher or sift through and pick which ones we're going to start off?
Okay, good question. And let's try to get in maybe one more. Mr. Cartmill, I saw you up on stage here. Did you have a question pertaining to USA Strong?
Yeah, I was just going to ask. So, is it but USA Strong? The back end is basically drop shipping, or are they planning to warehouse all the items and ship out like Amazon?
So currently, actually, I will stop and let Chrissy.
Yeah, if you can hear me, I can actually see if you put 100%. Like if you put your hand up and you can hear me, you can. Okay, great. I see, Aaron. Yeah, so let me start with the verification as it stands today, right, is manual. So we're going, whether we're visiting the manufacturing plant, whether we go online and we're verifying the manufacturing through Zoom, right? And we're watching the person manufacture it because some of them are mom and pops. Some of them are larger manufacturing firms like Crayola Crayon. You can actually go to their plant in Pennsylvania. So some are larger, some are smaller, right? So instead of it just being this manual one-on-one, what the blockchain will do, and we have a vendor right now kind of, well, actually they're going through the process of inputting the process, right? So we're changing from this idea of this item and we're moving to this verification of process. And the reason for that is once you verify the process from beginning to end, you're encouraging the vendor to add in the suppliers, right? So we're almost thinking about it as not just replacing Amazon, but we're also thinking of it as a new search, right? So it's thinking about it as Google and as Amazon, right? So you can actually search now our platform if you're a vendor and you need a jar for something that you're making. You can now see, okay, that I can get that jar from this place because it's been already verified as USA made through this process, right? So if we've got 300 vendors now on the site and they have all input their information of how and what has gone into their process, it's really 300 times almost 5 each, right? So it's 1,500. So the multiplication just keeps going in the flywheel, and each one of those is part of that tokenization. And so I think the gift on top of the tokenization is that we can do NFTs, right? So if you think about how Bedweiser did beer.eth, right, where USA made.eth, we already have those platforms and domains built. So whether it's art for usastrong.io on OpenSea that we have, or it's the USA made for Zippos, right? And they may want to do a Zippo lighter the way, Budweiser did their cans. We've kind of built this platform to be all inclusive so that you don't have to jump to OpenSea. You don't have to jump to Amazon. You don't have to jump to Google. It kind of makes it all inclusive. I know that Shopify is now offering to do the NFTs on Shopify, which is amazing, right? We're working with them right now to see how we can do that. But again, I think if we can be that all inclusive for that brand, whether it's Crayola or Zippo, and we're offering, okay, you're verified. This is what went into it. We can tokenize it. We can make it an NFT. We can kind of do all of those things in a digital way, and we don't carry inventory, right? Which makes us that potential to be a unicorn in such an early stage. Um, we have a lot of opportunity to scale much faster. So I think Stephanie's question was, how do you onboard the 300 vendors that have already signed up with us? Well, they all need to be on it. Every single vendor we work with will have to be on the blockchain. That's not an option. It's a matter of how do you incentivize them to want to give up the data that they have, versus us just saying, okay, we've been to your factory and we know that you're made in the US. Now we're saying, great, you're made in the US, but what was your process of making it?
All right, those were great answers, Stephanie. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay. Did you want to answer Mr. Cartmill's question, and then Reagan's here, and I think Reagan has a question for us as well.
If he could repeat his question, that'd be great. Honestly, I forgot.
Sure, Mr. Cartmill, feel free to repeat your question.
Okay, I was just saying, I know probably currently you're in the drop shipping mode where people manufacture the items and then they probably ship it out. But do you have any plans to do basically a warehouse establishment like Amazon where you can actually process orders faster because you already have the product? Or what is your plan for that logistically?
Yeah, right now we are drop ship only, except for our own private label. And for Celsius product, we do work with a vendor who kind of acts as a warehouse for us. But that's the beauty behind the blockchain and knowing who can like store products and who can like print t-shirts, because then you're able to uh, utilize them more to their capacity. I will let Chrissy talk about like in the future if we plan to have warehouses, but I would say if we want to keep up with Amazon and take over Amazon, it's not a bad idea.
My question was, I just heard about the Strong token, but what's the Strong token going to be used for specifically?
Stephanie, did you want to text that to Chrissy? That specific question, because I think that'd be a good one for her to answer. And then in the meantime, Reagan, if you wanted to drop your question, go for it.
Hey Josh, thanks. My question was actually kind of quite in line with what was just asked. If there's like a white paper or some details regarding the tokenomics or how it's going to be utilized, and also if there's going to be any investment opportunities for individuals that are looking at it. Thanks.
Gotcha. Alex is up on stage. Alex, are you able to speak?
Yeah, so the cell token, the USA token is yep. So the USA token is used to basically provide people incentives to buy items. So in collaboration with the vendors and other partners that we will put together, that is to enable much more aggressive promotions than we can do. Because the whole idea of USA Strong is that at least 90% of the value of the sale is going back to the manufacturer, to the maker. That's to incentivize local manufacturing, incentivize local supply chain production and everything else. So we can't really ask these makers to subsidize the product in the way that Amazon and other people do. And this way, the token is used as an incentive for the customers, for the community to come and grow this network and incentivize them to purchase items here, because basically by buying more or interacting more with the platform, they get more tokens, and then everybody wins, right? So the users that get the tokens can then actually sell those tokens to the manufacturers if they want to advertise the products. So the same token is used by the vendors to buy the slots that are available on the marketplace to promote their product, to push the product forward, to be at the top of the front page. And so there's basically an ecosystem between the people that have the token and people that need the token.
So, in the future, if there's somebody who has a larger amount of tokens, they can, of course, advertise more. But a person who's just starting out with a smaller amount of tokens, they'll have a harder time trying to advertise then, or
Are you asking like what the are there going to be tiers or something? Is that kind of like what you're getting at? Like, are there going to be levels to the? I guess what you're asking is like how are you going to keep it fair, right?
you got it exactly. I'm glad somebody could read my thinking. Yeah, it's exactly true. Because then you could have somebody who's just basically you make whale vendors versus somebody who's trying to start out. that doesn't have that many tokens and doesn't have that much demand? How do you balance that?
Got it. All right. He's coming back up.
Yes, again, the vendors are the ones buying the tokens. The customers are the ones selling the tokens. So how does a customer get the token? By buying an item, they get, let's say, 10 or 20% more in tokens, right? So you bought an item for $100, you got $10 worth of token, right? Additional USA token. So you want to sell it, you can only sell it to vendors who want to advertise on the site, right? So basically, instead of giving today, you give that ad money to Amazon, or you give it to Google, or you give it to Facebook, right? In this model, all the money stays within the community. It's either given back to the user because an advertiser is interested in buying a certain slot. Each slot has a certain number of tokens that they have to spend to buy that, right, to promote their product. And by doing so, it creates liquidity for the users who got those tokens for free, right? Because they purchased an item, and the item comes with a certain number of tokens.
Mr. Carmel, did that help answer your question, or did you need further explanation?
No, I guess I'll try to pay attention more to how it's going to roll out. That was just, again, little vendors, how they compare with big vendors, because you're going to still have big vendors who have more market share. So little vendors may not have the capital or actually the people to come to buy their product. So they're going to be lacking tokens to even compete maybe in the advertising. So that's what I was just wondering, how do you make it fair? That's the question.
I got you. Alex, did you want to come up and expand on that, or was your answer you feel satisfactory before? If not, I'll move back on to Reagan's question because I feel like we didn't answer your question. Reagan, if you want to go ahead.
Jesus, yeah, partially. It was just what the investment opportunities might be for individuals looking at when there's a token release or whatnot. Thanks.
From an investor standpoint, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Feel free, if Alex or Chris, if you guys heard that, to come up. It sounds like to me, Reagan, that it's more of a utility token versus just a flat out like an investment or a security that you would invest in. But hold tight, Alex is on his way up. And Chrissy.
Yeah, that's cool. It sounds like an interesting dynamic because if the token is really you're holding advertising space,
so
then
right now we're not doing a raise for USA Strong. Right now we're just launching the token, again expanding the community, trying to find more vendors, maybe open a few more countries, right? But right now the focus is on the USA and the supply chain here and the token itself. So no direct investment opportunities.
Got it. Well, there you go, Reagan.
Cheers. No, that's great. Thank you.
Are there any?
I wanted to go back to just 1 second. There was a great question about the smaller stores. I think if you look at the vendors on our site right now, I would say 85 to 90% of the vendors on our site would consider themselves small to mid-sized vendors. So the whole reason why the site was built was specifically for those vendors. And I think that it's very, very important to me personally to protect them. Again, I apologize. There's actually a massive wedding going on next door to us. So there's a lot of happiness happening. But anyway, so I appreciate the person who is asking about the small business or the small to mid-sized business. The whole point of USA Strong was to bring back Main Street America. So that is something very near and dear to me. And I think it's a very good point and something that needs to be watched.
I was going to suggest maybe give the smaller companies the opportunity to buy the strong token versus larger ones where they can earn it through sales, and little ones could maybe even be gifted some just so they can get advertising to help them along the way.
Yeah, that's a good thought. Kelsey, I know that you unmuted yourself earlier. Did you have a question or a comment?
No, I actually was going to say the same exact thing that Chrissy was saying, that most of our vendors are small to mid-size and they're growing through usastrong.io. So I think that we don't have some big giant vendor that can come in and bully our small to medium-sized vendors. I think that, you know, if they were on our site, then we have verified them, and we can 100% say that they're USA made. And most of the vendors that are 100% USA made like to work together. And I know, you know, everyone's out there to, you know, make the day and get a buck. But I really don't think that, you know, any of our vendors that we have would be in a competition to that point where they would bully the other ones out or they wouldn't be able to get enough marketing. I think it would be a pretty even playing field as of now. Hopefully that might change, but I think as of now.
Got it. And Reagan, I saw that you wanted to say something again.
Yeah, I was going to say another potential thing to look at is marketing slots as well. So even for smaller players, if you have windows where, let's say, you get prominent position for a certain amount of time on a website, and everything being digital now, it's quite easy as a small vendor to be able to say, hey, I'm on the front page of USA Strong at the moment, so come and check out. And that can work out for smaller vendors versus larger as well.
Yeah, it's a good thought. Stephanie, I see your hand up.
Yes, I was going to piggyback off of what both Chrissy and Kelsey mentioned about our small businesses. And I think the beauty behind what we're doing with these small vendors or these small businesses is that they should get in now, because once they're put on the blockchain, they, if I'm not mistaken, will be gifted some tokens or be given a token or something. So the ones who are with us now are going to, as Chrissy mentioned, be protected or be taken care of, that they're near and dear to our hearts because they were here from the beginning. So yeah, I would say if you're a small business out there, get in with us now.
Yeah, it's good advice. Chrissy's coming up.
Yeah, as Steph was saying, the thought is to gift them the NFTs, right, for their product, so that in that moment in time, they can also get something digital that's either the art or something with their product. That's one of. It's interesting because you think of Zippo as not, some people think of it as a big company, and it may be, but trying to get Zippo to understand even what NFTs are has been an interesting journey to think about creativity. So I think, it's almost sharing what the future is with some of these companies that are still manufacturing in the U.S. or Crayola. Or the original Levi's, right? The first Levi's that was made in the U.S., because Levi's doesn't really manufacture in the U.S. anymore. It's giving incentives to those companies that may be large, but they're large outside the U.S. because they don't manufacture here any longer. So it's about, how do you revitalize manufacturing in the U.S.? How do you revitalize Main Street America? And those folks that are already on our platforms, and some may be small, some may not think of themselves as small, they might think of themselves as mid-sized, but yeah, we definitely want to give them that gift of, okay, we can do the artwork. We've got a lot of creatives on our team already. We've attracted amazing talent, and coders and developers, that live in the future world. So anyway, no, we're almost out of time, and it's been very difficult to connect. So I just want to thank everyone for their time tonight. Um, and we have Alex's AMA from here tomorrow, so it's gonna be interesting. I know he's dropping something tomorrow, substantial. So I can't wait to tune into that. So everyone tune in tomorrow. Thanks, Josh, for hosting this. Thanks everyone for tuning in. And I hope, Josh, are you going to be on AMA tomorrow, Josh?
I'm not sure, but I would love to be. Hopefully, I'll be able to show some face. Yeah, would love to. Um, I don't know if we have any other closing thoughts from any of the other Strongers. It seems like Chrissy has closed out for the night. And Alex, if you wanted to come up and give some closing thoughts, you're obviously more than welcome. If we don't have any closing thoughts up here on stage and Alex isn't coming up, then I think we might close it out for the night. Thank you.
I have
Okay.
one thing to say, actually, or it's more of a question for Chrissy, because we haven't all been together. So I've been really curious. Last time that we had a Twitter space, she talked about a contest that we were doing. There's going to be 3 lucky winners from her last Twitter space. And I was just curious if she's gotten any great applications or anyone who reached out to be a part of that program that she's launching.
That would be interesting. Right now we have Alex coming up. So it seems Alex is going to come up and give some closing thoughts as well, and then maybe Chrissy could follow after that. I just don't know how to organize this. All right, hold on. Let me try to get Alex up first, and then I'll get Chrissy. So Chrissy, hang on there. We'll let Alex give closing thoughts, and then you can come up and give yours.
Yes. So, all great companies or great projects have humble beginnings. And, there's 50 people on this call. And, I think all of you should remember this moment, because we just started something very special, very unique, something amazing, something that no one has done before. And it's a new business model, right? What we're doing with the token, with the marketplace, with vendors, community interacting directly, eliminates the need for companies like Amazon or Google or Facebook that keep billions, tens, hundreds of billions of dollars to themselves, instead of empowering the community and empowering industry, right? So they're the toll collector in the middle. Their job is to extract as much as possible. And here with USA Strong, you're seeing a brand new model, something that has never been tried before, that is very unique and very special. And I know for some people it might be hard to understand, or kind of see how the dots connect, or wait a second, what do I do with the token? Who's going to buy the token for me? It doesn't make any sense. But when you see it, when it launches, and you'll start seeing it happen, you start seeing it being used, and you start seeing people show up and transact with it, you'll understand the power of the community. And that's really something that no centralized company, again, like Amazon or Google, can really respond to, right? They don't have any ammunition against the community coming together and creating or deciding what vendors, what products they want to create or consume. And again, bypassing all of these toll collectors, middlemen, that basically today are the largest companies in the world, right? So watch us closely, and you'll see amazing stuff. And again, to credit goes to all the girls on the USA Strong team who are working around the clock to build this. Also to the technical team, Nicola and everybody else who's on the behind the scenes, kind of writing codes, making sure that everything works, making sure orders are fulfilled. We can transact and communicate with customers. So about 15 people all in. It's a very small team, and it's amazing what they've managed to build in 1 year. So super excited to be part of this and grow it further. But happy 1 year anniversary and great time to launch the USA token. See you guys next week.
See you, Alex. Thank you for coming up. And we'll give just a few seconds to see if Chrissy wants to come up and answer your question, Steph.
Yeah, that was pretty incredible. Thank you for that, Alex, and your vote of confidence obviously goes a long way, um, especially after what you and your community created, or watching Celsians grow. I don't even know the billions that you guys have created. You created something from nothing, which is what the Strongers are doing right now. And I hope in 3 years we can look back for manufacturers and say that we were able to create something like this. Um, Steph asked a question about, have we received any requests from small businesses or someone that's looking to start something from our last call? Yes, we did. Artists that are looking to start a company. So that's super exciting. Anytime we can launch somebody on our space without, them having done a small business before is exciting for us. We received a skateboard or a longboard from someone out in California. That was a recommendation from David Meltzer's team. We got an artist who, was scared to do it on her own. So she's going to be launching. So, these are things that large companies forgot to keep doing, which is why we have to keep the humanity in it. Amazon lost their way. And that's why, I've been very vocal about replacing them in the marketplace. So thanks, everyone, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you all for joining tonight. I know it's been a little bit rough given the connection that we've had and everything, but we worked our way through it. Make sure you're following usastrong.io and the rest of the Stronger Women up here. And if you have any good feedback for us, we'd always love to hear it. And hope you guys have a great rest of your night. We'll catch you on the next one, hopefully next week.
That was amazing. Thank you guys so much.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.